Hello. So today I wanted to talk about seated positions for meditation, how to sit yourself comfortably in order that you give yourself the very best opportunity to meditate. And sometimes we have an idea that it has to be a certain way, and actually there's quite a bit of variation. If we're not comfortable, meditation practice is never going to happen. All we're going to notice is how uncomfortable we are. So let's look at a few main positions that you could try. We're going to start with the most basic position that is accessible to almost everyone, which is sitting in a chair. I know you think meditation often has to be cross-legged, and it's true, that often is a great way, but it's not for everybody. So if your hips or knees or ankles don't allow it, don't be shy to start off in a chair. All right, let's have a look. So just taking any regular household chair, you can sit on the chair, and ideally we want the feet hip width apart and the soles of the feet flat to the floor. Now, if I turn the chair side on, you'll see that I'm sitting a little bit forward because I want my spine to have the best opportunity to be lengthened. If I shuffle my buttocks back and I lean back into the chair, my spine is going to take on whatever shape the back of the chair is. And it's very difficult whilst resting back to really truly lengthen through the spine. And that is important for a meditation practice. If we've got a curved and rounded spine, we're likely to feel quite sleepy not long into the meditation. So whatever seat that you choose, just find something where you can sit forward on it a little and that you can lengthen through the spine. We're not arching the lower back and pressing the belly forward. There'll be some natural curvature here, but we don't want to accentuate it. Just have a sense of the length of your spine being quite neutral. So that position, if cross-legged is not so accessible, that's a really good position for most people to begin with a meditation practice. The feet, however, should be flat to the floor. Now, we've all got different length limbs, so depending on the length of your legs, some people may find that the feet hang, they don't actually make contact with the floor, or maybe just your tiptoes and balls of the feet touch. In which case, I'd take perhaps a thick blanket or two, or you could even use some big, books or something that's got a little bit of depth to it. And stack one blanket or two blankets or something in under the feet, just so that your feet, and I don't think mine even fit in on the camera here, I'll slide back a little, so that the feet rest truly flat. And once you've got the feet anchored, the spine lengthened, you can rest your hands on your knees or thighs or together in the lap. So there's no right or wrong, palms down, palms upturned. You just want to be comfortable, shoulders comfortable, whole body comfortable. So that's a really beautiful position for a meditation practice. As long as your spine is lengthened and your chest is broad, you give yourself the best opportunity then to being able to turn your attention to whatever practice it is you're going to work with. All right, if you'd rather be floor-based, then of course there's options. So putting the chair to one side. For most people, if you haven't done a lot of yoga practice, and if the body feels a little stiff or tight, for a lot of people, as they sit on the floor and cross the legs in this sort of traditional school-legged shape, what often happens is the knees come up quite high and the spine, the lower back, starts to round out. So again, from a side position, we can often have this sort of shape, and it makes it really difficult to meditate because a few minutes in, your body is going to be aching and most uncomfortable. So generally what I would recommend, if you're not used to sitting on the floor, take something like a bolster if you have one. If you don't, just use some really thick, dense blankets. So these yoga blankets are really good, folded in half. They're quite thick, so they don't, there's not too much give. You don't just sink down into nothing. So I'll take this bolster to sit on, and you don't want to sit right on top. You want to be a little bit more toward the front of the bolster, as if you're almost going to slide off the front of it. Now you can do a few things with the legs. You can have a more traditional school leg cross, so one sort of in front of the other. Again, some knees might be much higher, some might be lower, depending on the openness of your hips. That's perfectly okay. If you find that the knees are on the higher side of things, Again, even with a bolster under you, that is going to be a little bit uncomfortable after some time. So again, what I'd recommend is getting some blankets or some cushions, whatever you've got at home. It doesn't have to be special yoga props, just whatever you've got, and bring it in and tuck it in, up near the hips, right in under the knees. Because if our knees have to sort of hang high up and they're not supported, we're going to get very uncomfortable very quickly. So this might look a little bit odd, but straight away, my legs feel really supported. My lower back is relaxing. I feel like I could sit here for much longer and my body could be much happier in this shape. So you want to take the weight out of the legs, really give them some support, tuck everything in snug, and just experiment. How lengthened can your spine be? How broad can your chest be? That's a good position. All right, if you find your legs, your knees that go closer to the floor, then there's a few different options. So you could have one foot drawn in quite close to the groin. So it's like one heel is coming in toward that groin space. And then the second leg could come in front of this. And this is often referred to as easy pose. So again, depending on your hips, it may or may not feel easy at this point in time, but it's another option. So you'll see here, I've still got the bolster under me. I'm sitting not on top of it, more to the front, like I'm sliding forward. My knees here, for me, they're both touching the floor and they feel very anchored and stable. So it's this sort of triangular shape through the base. It minimizes blood flow through the legs and really keeps our blood flow, our oxygen, our alertness and concentration more in the upper body. So again, a shape like this is really useful, and we could have hands on the knees, either palms down or up. You retract it a little, or resting in the lap, whatever is comfortable. Now, some of you will have more advanced poses like half lotus or full lotus, where you're bringing the feet up onto the legs. I'm guessing for those of you that have that degree of flexibility, then you're probably acquainted more with those poses already. So I'm not going to go into them today. I just wanted to look at some basic positions to help get people started, because if your position is wrong, no meditation practice is going to flow smoothly out of that place. So have a play around with whatever you've got at home. Just practice finding a comfortable position. And then from there, dedicate your time or make your time to practice, whether it's daily or a few times a week or whatever you can manage. Start with a few minutes, gradually build up. Don't aim for more than 20 minutes if you're a beginner. 5 or 10 is a beautiful starting time. And be encouraged. Have a happy, fruitful meditation. Remember, it's not any one-off experience that we're looking for. So it's not as if we're wanting our meditation practice to be fabulous and amazing on any given day. Keep in mind, it's that steady, slow consistency over time that brings about the most gradual, lasting, efficient change. And I'm suspecting that for those of us interested in practicing meditation, we're looking for that beautiful ongoing stability. Peace of mind, great resilience, capacity to cope with stress, capacity to be very steady and settled and the best version of ourselves that we can possibly be. So be encouraged. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on finding a comfortable position for your body, and enjoy. Happy meditating.